What's up, everybody? Welcome to your Daddy Leagues podcast called The Talk. I am your host, Nate, the commissioner of the OMFL and founder of the Grown Folks Online community. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. We are kind of throwing this really quick together. Me and my guest have had a hard time finding some times that fit, but man, we're trying to throw it in right here before the weekend. Tons of new Madden news. So we're taking a break from the Madden 19 code drop that seems to be happening right now, because this is super important and we want to get some good stuff out there for you guys to enjoy. I know there's tons of videos about Madden 19. That seems to be the talk of everything that's going out there. But to be honest, part of the CFM community is Great Leagues, and that is who I have with me today. The league called MLDF, the Madden League Digital Football, or Madden. I got it wrong, didn't I? I just messed it up, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I did. I knew I was good. I had it, and I let it go. You give it to me and tell us what it stands for.
The Major League Digital Football League, or abbreviated the MLDF.
That's it. See, I almost had it. So you seen my guest. Please welcome in Superman. I don't know what you want to go by. That's what I know you by. So Superman, thanks so much for taking some time to be with me here on a Friday afternoon. How are things going, man?
They're going. You know, there's a lot of. This is like that time where, you know, with a little bit of an earlier drop date with Madden, it's getting a little more amped up for the upcoming season. Our league's already starting some trash talk for the upcoming season of who's going to be who and who's going to come back from the gutter, and we're really excited. And with a little bit of franchise news that dropped a couple weeks ago, it's looking good to be a good year of Madden.
Yeah, tons of stuff, and we're going to get there. But first and foremost, just tell us, who are you? Who is the MLDF? Where did you guys come from? And where can people find you?
I'm Superman71 is my Twitter name, my Twitch name, my Discord name is, and I've actually become I'm one of the co-commissioners of the league. My good friend David started the league. I've been in it now this is my 6th season, and we joined up as a group of friends from Facebook.
Nice. And
we are a few more West Coast. We have a little more West Coasters than East Coast, but we've now over the last couple of years have grown our East Coast base, so it's getting a little more 50-50. But we are what would be considered a sim league, but we have we're starting to take off more and more rules as it's just play football. And as we felt like we haven't had to micromanage as much. It's just get a good group of guys in and don't be a douche and have some fun. And we're really just a Facebook group, and we are one thing that's kind of different is we are a 1 season a year league.
Nice.
And you keep your team. So I'm the Seahawks. I've been repping them for years. I'm from Seattle, so I've been a diehard Seahawks fan, and as we start, really once Madden drops, we follow the NFL schedule, and we get our league going. We do a draft for free agents, as there's always a big pool of them, and we get going.
Well, you got to explain one thing right off the bat. All right, you're a Seahawks fan. You're over. You got the rockin' jersey. But there is a Denver Broncos avatar on your Discord. I'm confused.
Well, because that's a really good question. So it's kind of long-winded, so I'll be short. But I'm a diehard Seahawks fan first and foremost. I'm a kind of a leader in another league that's called the National Madden League. And there I am the Denver Broncos, and I went to school outside of Boise State, which is the Broncos. I was a season ticket holder for the Broncos football team, so we branded. I changed from I used to be the Steelers, and I'm moving the organization to the Broncos, and with the Boise State ties.
Nice.
It's a good fit, so I'm excited for that league, and looking forward to this coming up year.
Super cool stuff. All right, so let's just jump into it. Let's talk a little bit more about the MLDF. Now, this was something new that I got exposed. I am in a Discord chat with a lot of commissioners that got started, and that's where you and I got connected, because I was just pushing this out there, trying to connect with some people, and you reached out. So talk to me. I know it's a Facebook group. You guys were Facebook friends and kind of got spurned from this, but how did you work your way into being a commissioner? And just tell us a little bit more about the league. Like, do you guys do podcasts? I'm very interested intrigued, and I'd like for you to talk more about the one season per year. That's something that we used to do back in the PC days. It was one game a week, and we'd get like 2 seasons in a year, but it was fun because guys had their own team websites, and there was a lot of content. So just talk more about the one season, talk about how you guys got started, and just more about what do you guys do that makes it super intriguing.
Yeah, so we started to develop. We use DaddyLeagues for our website now, which has been a nice thing because we used to do power rankings on Facebook, and we bust out Word and create a power ranking. And so now with the DaddyLeagues simplicity, we push everything to DaddyLeagues, and that's kind of where we do all of our monitoring. And also the co-commissioner David, who I got hooked up with, one thing that's kind of unique about us is we can pull stats from of our existence. So we have the Hall of Fame. We have every stat for every game that's ever been played in our league for the last 6-7 years that we've been going. And so we're a very historical league. And how I got started as commissioner is a good question. So I joined up as just a reason to be the Seahawks. Had a friend in the league, we kind of, with the NML and the MLDF, we're 2 different leagues, but we're friends. And so we've had some members have played on both sides, and I just got more and more involved with the MLDF over the last couple of years as helping up on leadership and helping really make sure we knew who our identity was. Because it's kind of fun is the competitiveness of the teams, or like in how our skill gap has actually gone up tremendously in our league. And so that's one of the things we've had to navigate is making sure that we have our core group happy, but also that up and comers, it seems to be, are getting better and better. And how do we balance everybody's play styles and keep ourselves sim happy and sim competitive, but at the same time, our league's being more and more of, you need to be practicing or you're not going to compete in our league at all, and you will lose 50-0. And so it's been a fun transition as we've gotten better, and it's just been through leadership of helping set our rules and good communication. And it's really when it comes to the leagues, a successful league, you got to know who you are and you got to communicate and you got to be firm on it, and just keep your league going. Otherwise, they fall apart.
Yeah, all right. So you said. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I was just saying that that's kind of the big deal is just keeping us communicated well, and I believe David thought that was been really well for me, and I've had a lot of experience. I've been playing Madden since I was a kid, and I've been a CFM guy of all about online franchises, so I just kind of know how it works, and I know I just have a good sense for it and experience, and yeah, I'm not afraid to voice my opinion.
So you said some super intriguing stuff. I want to kind of dig out a little bit. Now, you guys said, air quotes, sim league. Now, I know that sim is, I find that word super funny because we've been doing this since 2001, and we were kind of part of that first big group of leagues that created what sim means. And I know that we've kind of stepped away from that word, but I know it's also like a tag word that people use that makes you seem legit, that all of a sudden you're a sim league. So you air quoted sim league, and then you said something super intriguing, how you guys have really pulled away a lot of the rules to kind of allow a little more freedom, things that you don't have to micromanage, then the skill level thing that you just kind of threw in there. So talk a little bit about rules. How do you guys kind of view the rules, and what rules do you have, and what's kind of been the thought process of how do we keep core happy, as you said, in sim, but at the same time lighten things up so we don't have to micromanage stuff?
Yeah, that's a good question, and that's been a really big issue. Not issue, but it's been the most changing. And for us, it's been a mimic of the NFL. A lot of people complain about fourth down, and so we do have it. Like we used to be like, it's fourth down, you're either field goaling it, punting it, unless you're down by 2 touchdowns. And we had kind of a lot of these rules on it. But now the NFL, it's 4th and 1 at the 49-yard line. Teams might go for it. And so we've started to that's one of the rules we pulled back was if you're past the 50 and you want to go for it, you can do it. Go for it. And we just felt like it's more competitive to what the NFL's doing. And ultimately, that's what we're trying to do. I don't like the word sim, but I just say that in air quotes just because we do try and keep it to what you see on the Sunday. We want to be able to represent it, and sometimes Madden struggles to do some things right. So that's why we had to have those rules to make sure that the game's played more simulation level. But just now, as the NFL's changing, our league's changing. There used to be part of that's how Madden's getting better. I mean, you used to be able to no huddle down the field, and there'd be glitches that would get people off sides, and so no huddle was broken, and so we really tried to limit that. And now though it's not an issue anymore. So you want to no huddle all game, you're gonna get your guys tired and injured. Go for it. You're gonna pay the consequence of it. And we feel like Madden's been able to do that well. So we don't, so if we feel like it's not a glitch, not broken, then we're good with letting it go, and just letting people make their own decisions. And basically, just don't be a douche and don't be a turd, and it'll be no problems.
Super fun stuff. So talk a little bit about Madden 18. How has Madden 18 been for the MLDF? What have you guys liked? What have you not liked? And kind of how have things went?
Yeah, so one of the greatest things that I'm really excited for is the depth chart changes. I can't wait to finally have the proper nickel defense set on all my nickels without having to remember to manually go through all my substitutions and get guys in the right position. I can have the speed rushers on the outside up for nickel. I can have the correct cover linebackers into my nickel defense, and it's less substitutions that I have to remember to do during each game. And the third down, the power back of goal line. If it's 3rd and 1, at the 2-yard line, I want my power back in there, and I don't want to have to remember who it is. And did I sub that out when I'm trying to make my play calls? And so the substitutions and the depth charts being changed. There's still some work in progress in there, I think, where they need to get better at, but it's a big step in the right direction, and that's one of the key things that I'm really excited for.
What do you think the MLDF does well? What do you think that you guys did really well in Madden 18 and that you think is really something that you could build on for Madden 19?
What do we do well on? That's a good question. Well, caught me off guard on that one. What do we do well? Really, I think really we run well. We are the one game a week, but we don't miss that. We stay on schedule.
Yeah. We
hold our drafts. We do what we say we're going to do, and we don't have a lot of issues or beefs between people. Because we're a league that talks a little trash. We post memes up on each other. Me and the Cowboys in our league, we go after it hard all season, and it's in for fun though. So we talk a lot of trash, but we do it the right way. So I feel like we have the right way of bringing the fun competitiveness of talking some trash, being competitive, but not doing it in an unprofessional way. And so I feel like we operate pretty well. We keep it simple. And every year we have a champion, and we mail you that trophy, that replica of the Super Bowl trophy, which is one of the things we do. We mail a trophy, and you want that trophy in your hands at the end of the season, because you don't get a season 2. You have to wait a year before that next round comes around, and so it's just kind of one of the fun parts of the league.
Now, you guys do one game a week, one season per Madden. What does that – I mean, that's so unique, right? And that's such an old-school way of doing it, and I love it. But what does that allow? Like, what does that – doing it that way, what does that kind of produce that you guys really enjoy?
Well, I think we go after – it's kind of like who we target. We go after the adults, I would love to play Madden, like, all day long, every day, and play 50 seasons.
Yeah, sure.
But realistically, trying to tie up an hour and a half, it gives us that spacing of, hey, in a week, I should be able to tell you when can you play. Here's my schedule. And in a week, we should be able to match it out and not have big issues. And that's kind of the thing that it does, is it just spaces it out. So we're going after the long-term Madden player that's not a rookie, but has families and is busy and knows that not everybody can just sit around and play Madden at a wing's notice. So our games are well scheduled in advance. We do a Sunday night game that we're starting to Twitch and stream our games, and we're trying to last year we started a Thursday night stream of the week, and so we're trying to make more set up in advance and set up those competitive games. And that's kind of what we go after, is that not older, but just
I understand.
I don't know what
Look, all kinds of craziness is happening right now because, of course, Madden 19 is dropping codes. And if you follow our Twitter at GrownFolksOC, you're going to see I've been on top of it, man, and I'm still missing out on these codes. So let's talk Madden 19 a little bit. It's like the hot topic. Everybody wants to talk Madden 19. I still love talking about commissioners and leagues and like what do you guys do different in the nuts and bolts. But look, guys want to hear about Madden 19. So what have you heard about Madden 19 that gets you super excited? What can't you wait to get your hands on? And do you have one of those pesky codes?
Oh man, I wish I had one of those codes. I'd pay a nice price for that one if I could, if it was legal. Man, I'd love to be on that beta because I can't wait to play it. And one of the things you see, I feel like they're really bringing back the touch to the running game, and with their mechanics of it's no longer get the fastest guy, hit him on a sweep, and just try and outrun everybody in the corner.
Yeah,
I feel like now you're going to be able to hit those gaps, and if you see the right hole, you're going to actually be able to get it without bumping in your alignment, falling down. And I'm hoping to be able to split some gaps and run some more zones. And I can't wait for the run game. It's they're bringing the running game back, I feel like, and that's by far the most exciting thing for me was just the run game and the control. It's going to be up to you. If you don't have the joystick skills, you got to learn them because the game's going to give it to you the ability to run the right plays and to have the user control to run right.
All right, when you think about the MLDF and you just think about Madden 18, what is it that you think Madden 19 could add to the game, whether it's a commissioner control, a CFM edition? What do you think that they could add or that you've heard that you think will just make running a league just a little bit more easier?
Well, I got a wish list, and very, very high on my wish list. Number one is they got to find a way to bring back games after they've been disconnected.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing more frustrating than playing your playoff game. It's a tense component where, a turnout, a pick, a fumble is going to be the difference of the game. Third quarter, you're in this great battle and you get disconnected because of the servers. And you just, one of the things with us is stats. So you can't recreate stats. In the third quarter, you play a game again, it's going to be different, and there's no way to go back. And I just want them to be able to just freeze the game because you can do an offline. If you do an offline CFM, play in the third quarter, you turn the Xbox off, turn it back on, the game is still there, frozen, saved. And I want the game to save, let both members rejoin, and continue playing. Like, I'd pay extra for the game next year for that ability. That's number one on my wish list. I don't think it's even close. They don't have it. They haven't seen anything on it yet, but that would be number one. Because it's frustrating. You've got 45 minutes invested in this game. You don't want to start over.
Yeah.
And then you got to make rules on scores.
Yep.
And if it's up 28-0, it's going to be considered a done game, and it makes it very complicated for a commissioner, and it ruins the momentum and the funness of the game. So that's by far my number one. You just said something.
You just said something I want to ask about. So we brought this up on our last podcast. You said I would pay extra for this feature, and so the question that we've talked about with several different commissioners that's always been out there is, would you just pay like a flat fee or a monthly fee or something that would give you more CFM features? Like would you pay for an add-on that costs you an extra $50, or would you pay a $10 a month fee to have all of these extra features that the CFM has asked for, or do you want this stuff just to work right out of the game?
I want it to work just right out of the gate, but I think that's also part of that's going to happen is, if you're paying a subscription, then I wouldn't expect it to change. I mean, I would expect it to, overall, I feel like the user loses. And so I know everybody likes subscription models, but I don't like them. I want to pay my $60 and get the best game I can. Yeah. And I don't want us to turn into Mutt, where if you want to play better, then you got to give us a few more bucks for your better players. I want the game to be right. I want patches like they're doing. And so, yeah, I don't want a subscription.
Now, you mentioned something a little earlier that I want to go back to. You talked about Daddy Leagues, and you guys are now Daddy Leagues website, or you use Daddy Leagues as a function for your CFM. What has moving to Daddy Leagues and using that feature done for your league and done for the owners of your league?
Moving to Daddy Leagues, the nice thing is it's done a lot of made power rankings easier, because it's just saved us a lot of math and a lot of heartache. But one of the things is it's more, we call it more community in our group, because now you can go back, you can see your stats week 8, and you don't have to be at your Xbox to look it up. And so you can be, at work, and you can go check on your season, be looking at a player, look at some ratings, looking at a trade. So it's just made it more ways to touch without having to be sitting in front of your Xbox.
Yeah. All right, let's get it. Let's get some advice here. Let's talk about CFM commissioners. If you had a brand new commissioner that was coming to you, you've got a lot of experience of doing this, and you run a very unique league. What would be maybe the top 1, 2, maybe even 3 things that you would tell a commissioner you need to do this if you want to be successful?
I think you need to. Biggest thing is you need to know what your league is. What kind of gameplay you're going to be, what your rules are if they're going to be any, and you really got to have your identity in it. And then you got to make sure that you build the right core of players to support it, and that everybody is empowered. Me and David, we ask every season. We submit, hey, what questions do you want? What issues do you have? And we look at changes, and we do. We don't just make changes on our own. We'll go out there and put a poll out and say, hey, what do you guys think on this? And sometimes we get ideas that owners don't. They're like, no, I will not do that. Period. Like, one of the big issues we've had was player movements. People want to move safeties to linebackers because of the dime issues, and we're like, no, we don't let some player positions be moved if they're mimicked of the NFL, but we have a very hard cut on that. So I just feel like you just got to know who it is, and you got to get that group of people, that 5 or 6 that are going to be behind you and have your core, and really just continue to grow it, because you can't do it on your own. Because what happens is when you do a one-man army, you're going to get burned out six months later, and then your league's going to crumble. So you got to have a team, so everybody stays refreshed, everybody stays connected, and then you got to chase those people on the edge and keep them back in. Yeah. And it's a teamwork, it's a team thing. So just don't be the ultimate commissioner. Go find your team, and go make a really cool, fun, exciting league together. And that's my biggest tip for success.
All right, what are the top tools that you guys use that you feel are super successful for your league? Again, such a unique place. I think that the MLDF is, I love that you guys have been on the show here today because it's such a unique place. But what are the top tools that you guys use that you think are super important to the success of MLDF?
Our biggest thing is, the funniest thing is, it sounds simple, but people are kind of lazy when it comes to contacting each other. And so one of the things that we've really morphed is with Google Docs, and just simply being able to share contacts and to let people be able to tag each other on Facebook quickly. Because every week, you got to look at who the Seahawks are, and you don't know what that guy's name is. Be honest, it's the Seahawks GM, it's the Seahawks. Who that guy is, you're not, unless you've been in it for 100 years. You don't know every single owner very well. So we just make sure our information's always up front. Our owners can find out who they're playing quickly, what their gamer tags is, and then reach out to them on Facebook, where we can make sure that the people are seeing their messages. So it's once again, that's our biggest tool, is just communication between owners, because then that doesn't go well, they get frustrated, and then ultimately that's what leads to people leaving or going MIA on you, which just crushes your league. So.
All right, let's go ahead and try
Google Docs is the easiest tool out there.
Google Docs. It's super, super easy, and anybody can use it. All right, let's go ahead and bring this plane in for a landing. Something that came to mind as you were talking today that I think would just be intriguing to talk to our guest about as we have them on the show. How did you get started in CFM? What made you start to look into it? How did you find the MLDF? How did you get started in your CFM career?
That's which is good, because I have a little bit of I misstated a little bit earlier on our start date, because we started as an offline CFM. The history was before my time. Yeah. And that's what got me into it, though, was because it started with me running CFMs on my own with my best friends, and coming to my house, playing Xbox together, running seasons and seasons. And then when 2001 hit, online, the internet kind of started breaking out, and then 2010 is when really you could take a CFM online. And it's just been me being able to do what I've been doing for the last 20 years over the internet with lots of other like-minded friends, and not being restricted to my 2 best friends in the basement of my house. So that's what really got me hooked on it, and what brings it fun, because it's great, because it's meeting people like you coming on a show talking about Madden, and just it's the fun of competitiveness and meet new people, and that's what it's the greatness of the internet.
Absolutely. Yep. We go back to 2001 when Madden came out on PC. So let me ask you this as we kind of wrap things up. What are you hoping that Madden 19 does for the CFM community, for CFMs out there? What are you hoping becomes the last outcome for Madden 19?
I mean, what do I hope for? I hope, I just hope that the biggest thing is that it stays consistent on letting us just play the game and they don't ruin it with patches.
Yeah.
I feel like last year they had a really good game by the second patch, and then the game. So my hope is just they keep it consistent and they don't try and break things by changing things and kind of, because by how you played at the beginning of the year changed by the end of the year.
Yep.
And especially with the run game, I feel like they nerfed it by the end of the season. So I hope that they just, Madden 19, it's reliable. If I play the right defense, I want to be able to stop your run game. If I play the wrong defense, I want to pay for it. If I play the wrong coverages, I just want them to get closer to playing complete, accurate football, and not have it where people can, run dime defenses against power offenses and stop the run no problem, and kind of the silly stuff like that happens. So I just hope that they just continue with the realisticness of it and give the control to the user to live and die by what we call.
Superman, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you again for reaching out to me and making this happen. I know that our schedules have been tight since you've been on the West Coast and I'm way down south. But tell people again, where can they find you on Twitter? Where can they find your commissioner? Is your league on Twitter? What Daddy Leagues website? Tell us where everybody can go out and find you, and if they're interested in joining, where they can reach you guys.
Yeah, so you look up Facebook. If you look up Madden League Digital Football, you can find our group. It's a private group, but it's open so you can see it. Send in a request to join. I'm one of the admins. We'll take a look at it. Hit me up on Twitter, Superman71, and also SBramHall71 too on Twitter. I have a couple different accounts. Look at me on Twitch, Superman71 to my Twitch game. I'll be streaming our MLDF games starting here in a couple months, as we're looking to increase our streaming. So definitely come find us. We're available. And we do have some openings. We got about 4 teams, I believe, open for the coming season. So if you're looking for a fun league, and then we'd love to have you and have a conversation to see to make sure we're the right fit for each other.
I love it. I love the slow advances, that old school PC days, man. I got fond memories of us doing it way back then. Look, go give this man a follow. Follow him on Twitch. Follow him on Twitter. Go look up his league. And somebody get this man a code for Madden 19 and let him go play some Madden 19. I mean, he only plays one stupid season a year. Let him play Madden 19. My God. Hey, Superman, thanks again so much for being with us, my friend. It has been an absolute pleasure. Look this man up. Give him a follow. It's going to be amazing. And the next time we're on, we'll have another great guest. I've got a great lineup. You guys won't want to miss it. The Madden Bomber League is on that list. So you want to make sure that you tune into these. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Smash those buttons. Comment. Tell us what you think and what you thought. And most of all, go follow Daddy Leagues on Twitter. If you don't have a Daddy Leagues website, what are you doing with your life? Make sure that you even go check out our other partners, the League Crawler. Give them a like, a follow. Follow all of the stuff that they're doing. And make sure that your league is on League Crawling, that you're rating people and that you're rating things and that you're using that website. It's such a great asset to the community. All right, for Daddy Leagues, for the MLDF, for Superman, for everybody here at Grown Folks, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.